Hey second graders, welcome back to art class. This is Miss Mitchell. For this week, we are going to be talking about lines, and we are going to be drawing as long of a line as we can. This week, we are going to be working with lines, different types of lines. Now, I don't have a PowerPoint to show you guys this week. I am just going to jump straight into the art project or art activity for this week. So I want you to grab some sort of paper. It can be blank white paper, or if all you have is notebook paper, you can use notebook paper. Use what you have available to you. For your drawing utensil, you can use a regular pencil, just like this, or you can use a black crayon, or a black colored pencil, or a black marker. Don't use any colors yet because we will get to those other colors in just a little bit. But for right now, a black crayon, colored pencil, or marker, or just a regular pencil. I am going to be using a black marker because it shows up best on the screen for you guys to see. And I'm going to put those other things to the side. So once again, we're working with lines this week. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be drawing one long line to fill up our entire paper. That means once you start your line, you don't finish it until you have filled up the entire paper. Don't lift up your pencil or your marker or your crayon until you are done. That means you keep it on the paper. You can start wherever you want to. I'm just going to start in this top left corner. But if you want to start on the bottom right or the top right or wherever you want, right here in the middle right here, you can do that. I'm just going to start on the top left. So when you're doing your lines, you can do different kinds of lines. You can notice right here, I'm kind of doing a wave line, kind of like an ocean wave. When you're doing your lines, make sure you go nice and slow. You don't want to mess up by going too fast. And whenever you want to switch your kind of line to a different line, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to keep going until I reach the bottom of my paper here. And then I'm going to switch. I'm also switching directions. So now I'm going to do, I call this a cloud line. Or it can look kind of like water as well, just with pointy waves. Notice again, I'm taking my time, not going too fast, otherwise I'm going to mess up. Notice I'm getting to my next edge over here, so I'm going to switch, but you can switch whenever you want to. I'm going to switch to loop lines like this. I don't have to go all the way to the edge of my paper. I don't even have to go to this top edge. If I want to go over here, I can do that. Go wherever you want your line to go. But notice how I am kind of staying close together. My lines aren't touching, but I'm still kind of keeping close to it. I'm not even going to go all the way over here. I'm just going to go this way. Let your line take itself wherever it wants to go. So notice I kind of did some blocky lines over here, kind of like the top of a castle. You can repeat that if you want. I'm going to do some more curvy lines like this. And maybe some zigzag lines. Again, just let your line take itself wherever it wants to go. So you're going to keep doing this until you fill up your entire paper. So you should be using a variety of lines when you are doing this activity. Variety means a bunch of different kinds of lines, not the same line over and over again. The more lines you use, the more of a variety of lines that you use, the more interesting that your artwork will look. If you use all the same lines, if you just used wavy lines all throughout, it might not look as interesting. So change it up every now and then. Remember to use whatever kinds of lines that you want. You can experiment and try things out. This one I'm just kind of going in a kind of like an 8, a figure 8. Right here I'm just kind of doing, they kind of look like leaves. But notice how my line is one continuous line. Continuous means that I didn't stop. There's no breaks or spaces in between my line. It's all one long, long, long line. You can notice that I'm getting closer to finishing. I have this space left, so I'm just going to keep going until I finish. You can do some sort of pattern if you want to. You can see I kind of did a kind of like a brick pattern and then a zigzag and then a brick and a zigzag. So experiment with different patterns. I'm coming to the end of my line. There's the end. Notice how I filled up my whole paper. So I started from the outside and I kind of wove my way inwards. But if you want to start from the inside and work your way outwards, you can do it that way, however you want to do it. Just remember, it should be one long line, one continuous line. Did I make any spaces or gaps in between my lines? No, I kept going until I filled up my whole paper. Now, the next thing that I want you to do, we're going to keep going with this, is we're going to draw 3 shapes on top of our lines, and then we're going to color those shapes in. So just an idea for some different shapes. These are not all the shapes in the world, but here is just a sheet of paper that has some different shapes just to give you some ideas. So we have circle, triangle, square. Remember, a square is the same on all 4 sides. Rectangle has 2 short sides and 2 long sides. We have a diamond. We have an oval, which is like a circle, but it's long. We have a star. We have a moon. We have a pentagon, which has 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a hexagon, which has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this is not a whole list of all the shapes in the world, but if you think of other shapes that you want to draw, you are welcome to do that. Now, how many shapes did I say to draw? 3. 1, 2, 3. So my first shape that I'm going to draw is, I'm just going to draw a circle. So I am just going to find something circular. I have this can of pencils and pens and art supplies in it. I'm just going to use the bottom of it to trace around so I have a nice, neat circle. You can draw your shape wherever you want. I would just suggest that you draw big enough so that we can see it. We don't want like a teeny tiny circle because then you can't really color anything inside of it. At the same time, don't fill up your whole paper because you won't have room for your other 2 shapes. So leave enough room for your other shapes. All right, there is my circle. I know it's a little hard to see right now because of all the other lines, but don't worry, we are going to be coloring inside the circle in just a little bit. I'm just going to use my marker to make these lines a little bit more noticeable. My next shape that I'm going to draw, I'm going to choose a moon. So my moon, I'm going to choose to draw it over here. Just like that. Here's my moon. And I need one more shape, and I'm going to choose a diamond. If you have a ruler or something with a straight edge, you can even use the straight edge of your crayon box. You can use that. Your lines will look much neater if you use some sort of straight edge. So I'm going to choose to put mine right here. If you're using a ruler or some sort of box or straight edge, make sure your pencil or your marker, your crayon, hits or touches the ruler or the straight edge. All right, so I have my 3 shapes, my circle, my moon, and my diamond. The last thing that you're going to do for this is you're just going to color inside of your 3 shapes. So everything outside of your shapes, you're just going to leave blank. You are only coloring inside of your shapes. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up for you guys so you don't have to spend forever watching me color. I'm going to speed this up for you guys so that you do not have to spend forever watching me color. By the end of this, you should see my finished project. All right, here is my finished artwork. So you can see how I colored in my shapes here. I only colored on the inside. I left everything else blank around it. You can do some sort of pattern like I did here with the pink and red, pink, red, pink, red. You can do something like this. I was trying to go for a rainbow right here, or you can do this. I was trying to blend some colors right here. You can color yours however you want to. When you are finished with your artwork, the last thing that I want you to do is to take a 5-second video of your artwork and upload it to Canvas. This is all done within Canvas, taking your 5-second video. If you do not know how to take a 5-second video, go to the assignment page for this week in art class, and there should be a video tutorial on the assignment page to watch. So watch that video and take your 5-second video and click submit assignment, and you are good for this week. I will see you in the next video. Bye.